going on, guys? Great Disciple back with another video. I don't know what's in the background of this one. I had this question. Now, it originally came up all the way back on the video I did on being shy or overcoming shyness. And on there, one of my subscribers, Eli510 Young, asked me a question, and I've thought about it for a while, and then he brought it back up again to me on the 1500 subscriber video. And it's an interesting question. And so I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. What's up, Eli, by the way? So he said, I was wondering how much you had in common with your wife when you first met her. What exactly would you say made you just click? Also, did it just seem like it was easy? You know, obviously not having to drive across Texas to see her, of course, and not saying that she's easy, but just being around her compared to previous girls that just made her different to you. And also, was there any sort of insecurity or anxiety you had to deal with in life or in your dating world? Let me start with that last one. Like any guy, there's a learning curve with girls. Some get comfortable very quickly, others really have to work on it. Now, I have two older brothers, all right? So listening to them talk about girls, watching them interact with girls did make it a lot easier for me when I finally got to the point of talking with girls. I will admit that. Plus, their girlfriends would come over before I started dating, so I was already comfortable being around girls, attractive girls also, girls that are dating. I got comfortable very quickly. And you know, that also goes for all areas of life. You know, having older siblings, especially of the same sex, like in sports, for example, you know, you have to play up to your brothers whenever you're younger. So like in baseball, I had to advance quicker in baseball in order to play with my brothers. So whenever I would go and finally play with my friends, I was always a step ahead of them because I already had to compete with older kids. Does that make sense? I think that should make sense to you guys. And people who have older siblings of the same sex, they probably understand what I'm saying. So, did I have insecurity and anxiety? Of course I did, but I overcame it very quickly because my brothers. You asked me, did I have a lot in common with her when I first met her? Well, no, I didn't. And the reason is because she's almost 7 years older than me. I mean, she was done with college, working her career. I was just finishing high school. But there was something different. She had two sisters, both of them younger, but I had two brothers, both of them older. So we had grown up kind of in the same type of atmosphere, competing for attention with our parents. I'll give you that one. There were certain aspirations that she had in life that I had as well. And I was immediately attracted to her because of her maturity level. And I know you're like, well, you were 7 years younger than her. How could you be attracted to that? Well, I was very mature for my age. And I can go into that if you want to later, but I don't want to do it right now. But I had to grow up very, very quickly in my life because of my brothers, and not in a good way. And so when I met her, we were kind of on that same level, all right? And then he asked me, what exactly would you say made you just click? You know, I can't explain that part to you. Anybody who married the love of their life, they will use that term because there's really no other way to explain that feeling, that immediate connection that you feel. And no, it's not lust. This is different. Of course, when you meet a really, really attractive girl, you feel a click, as people would say, but that's lust speaking. I mean, you're physically attracted to her as a guy. That's built into us. But this was different. It wasn't just physical. There was something about her and the way that she spoke and the words that she used and the thoughts that came to her head. There was an immediate click. What she liked, I liked. The music she liked, I liked. The aspirations, like I said before, that she had, I had. It was just different. It wasn't forced. It wasn't fake. I could get on the phone with her and talk with her for 3 or 4 hours, and I never got tired. I always had something to say. I didn't have to try. And you guys will know what I mean by that. I know some of you do. There are certain girls that you will date where you feel like you have to physically try. It's like work trying to talk to them. I never felt like that with her. And then you said, did it just seem easy to you? Not like easy as in she's easy, or easy, you know, forgetting the fact that I used to drive 4 hours to see her on the weekend. But was it just easy? Did the relationship come natural? And the answer is yes. It did. Not to say that we didn't have our hang-ups and our arguments. And that, by the way, arguments is where a relationship is defined. Your ability to argue with somebody and overcome the argument and compromise, that is the strength of a relationship. It doesn't matter how good you guys are when everything's going well. What matters is how good you guys are whenever you fight. That is the linchpin of a relationship, okay? But back to it. Did it just seem easy to you? In a lot of ways, yes, it did seem easy, because I knew probably, and I know this sounds really crazy to you guys, but within about 2 to 4 weeks, I knew that I was going to ask her to marry me. And I was young too, but I knew it, because that feeling in the communication that we had very early on, it came so natural. I knew without a doubt that this woman was created for me and I was created for her, and it was just a matter of time before God crossed our paths. Okay? Now, I hope that answers your question. If there was something in particular that you were looking for me to answer in there, I can. But I will say this, when you finally find the person that you were meant to be with, you will know immediately that she is the one. None of this grinding out the relationship for 5 years wondering, is this the one I'm supposed to marry? No. That's not how it goes. You know immediately. So if you've been with the girl for a really long time, 2-3 years, and you haven't popped the question and she's not pushing for you to pop that question, and you guys are already comfortable, chances are, I'm telling you right now, she's not the one. She's not the one. Because the one, have you ever seen that, how like you date somebody or your friend dates somebody for like 3 to 4 years and they never get married and they break up, and then they meet somebody and within 6 weeks they're engaged, and 6 months later they're married and they're happy and they're having kids and they move on with their life? That's because they found the one that they were supposed to be with. No questions asked. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope it answers it. You guys have questions about what I just said, just ask them down below. As always, hit that thumbs up button because it helps my channel, and subscribe because I know you want to. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.